Sketchy.
It's superhero time! Today we delve into the next episode about today's superhero. By day, he goes by the identity of mild mannered retiree in Sydney's northern suburbs, Frank Partridge. But when duty calls, he becomes a superhero, the captain of capitalism, the pusher of privatization, and the grinder of greenies, the Republicanator! When we last left the Republicanator, he had been taken hostage by a new enemy to the Republican cause, the evil Captain Camp, a renegade officer of the Federation of Australian Gay Guys Opposing Tradition, who underwent a horrible transformation as a result of an industrial accident in the world's largest Vaseline factory. As we find him, the Republicanator and his sidekick Kip Fetching, aka the Young Liberal, are bound back to back in a quiet suburban church, pondering their fate.
What's going to happen to us, Republicanator?
I don't know, Young Liberal, but somehow I don't think it's going to be more than the Sunday Mass. Well, Bumlicanator and well-hung Liberal, how are you coping with my darling grand plan?
How are we supposed to know what sick acts you have planned for us?
Well, Duckies, I knew that the Liberals don't like giving funding to education, but I didn't know you'd be dumb.
You lily liver. You know full well that the education funding was
Don't bother, Young Liberal. You know that homosexuals don't think the same way as normal people.
Oh, you mean little bean. You may think something different when my fabulous planet has run its course.
What are you going to do to us?
Well, you two are going to be married.
No!
You wouldn't!
Of course. People have this silly little thing against gay marriage that I just can't understand.
That's because it's bigamy.
Anyway, so I thought, what would be the one thing that could make them come? No pun intended. Oh, you naughty man. No, make you guys married. If you two, the most prominent anti-homosexual marriage campaigners in our city, were seen to discover a loving gay relationship and get married and love each other, think how many other people will think that they might enjoy it too. How happy they would be.
There's one thing missing in this. You don't have a boyfriend, Captain Camp. You wouldn't be getting married to anyone.
Not now, but think how many juicy boys will come out of the closet once all things start moving. I'll be in heaven, absolute heaven, darling.
Always sex with you people, isn't it? Why can't it be back in the good old days, in the 50s, when sex was just a biological process?
Yes, and homosexuals lived in denial, Russians were vilified, and black people were the victims of blatant racism. Look, whatever. Live and let live, that's my little motto, but enough talk. Let's get on with the ceremony. And may I say, boys, you've never looked as beautiful as you do today! I think you may know the priest who's going to make this a day to remember. Your good friend, Father O'Brady. I'll let you guys get reacquainted while I find a veil for you, Young Liberal. I'm not normally so fussy, but I simply can't find one to match your darling eyes.
Father O'Brady, surely the church doesn't believe in this sick sodomy.
Of course not. As I remember, in the Bible it says quite clearly, and Jesus said unto his disciples, Accursed is he who, in his desiring for lust and wanton frivolity, doth turn from the woman his shaft away from the gates of heaven, and entereth in his brother the rear path of Satan, and the juice of his passion exercised therein. Quite explicit, I say, but I'm afraid we have no choice, Young Liberal. My son and his fiancée are planning to be wed, and Captain Camp said he will see to it that they cannot find a single wedding planner unless I go along with what he says. So, I'm sorry.
Worry not, good father, for I have a plan. Will the wedding march be played on the organ?
No. I believe, he couldn't find an organist, so it's just on a CD.
Right. Quick, before he comes back. Search the CD for this one here.
But
quickly, before he comes back. Track number 7.
Well, I couldn't find anything, can you believe it? So will you just have to make do with this? There, don't you look beautiful? Now, I believe we are ready to start. Oh, I promised I wouldn't make a scene, but look at me. I always quiet ready. Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to celebrate... Wait! Something isn't right here. Something doesn't fit. What's wrong? I can smell it. There's something of... The music! Oh, quick, go down a bit. Okay, now, come! This is alcohol!
Quickly, father, untie us while he is distracted. Ha ha! Captain Camp, I am placing you under arrest.
What? Why?
For kidnapping, blackmail, and because you do not wear turtlenecks with scarves, you just look ridiculous.
Curfew, Republicanator! You'll never keep me down, or the will of the Federation of Australian Gay Guys Opposing Tradition. And this was all I had in my wardrobe.
Excellent thinking, Republicanator. You saved the day from untruth, injustice, and the lefty way once again. There was just one question I have. How come you have that CD in your pocket?
How will the Republicanator escape from this awkward social predicament? Find out next week on Superhero Time! Welcome to the Alistair McAllister interviews. In today's show, Alistair interviews Dr. Mitchell Probenick, visiting professor of environmental sciences at Melbourne University.
Good afternoon. It is taken by here with Minister Hurtness Murdoch. It is this interview that the person is us. Dr. Probenick. Hurtness take the right to shout the smoke it out. Relation to the smoke the sentence first.
Well, yes. An ETS, or emissions trading scheme, is basically a scheme where the government or a body sets a cap on emissions, carbon emissions or pollutants, and polluters are given permits and hold a number of, credits. Then the companies need to pollute or create emissions buy credits from low polluters. It's basically a way so companies have to pay for polluting and low polluters are rewarded.
Incentive.
Yeah, an incentive. Basically, yes.
Right, I see. So basically what you're saying is that Footloose Hoot is not the birth of Hootness Hurtness, but a Hurtness takers Marcus and but why does it make her? It's her history.
Well, yes, basically the ETS was a major shift in the environmental policy. Then globally the European Union came into it, so it has been around for a long time. It's not something radical or new, really.
Right, yeah. But why couldn't we implement a sort of command control approach? Some sort of regulation with taxes and so forth?
Sorry, I couldn't quite catch that.
Right, sorry, I said, why couldn't we implement this? Some sort of ridiculous dirt that's made this in tax system.
Alright, well, the cost of eliminating additional unit pollution differs by country. It might cost, say, $2 for China to eliminate a ton of CO2, but it may cost Sweden or the US much more, that's why.
Right. So what does it is produced by the greatest amount, but the greatest is not as it's a major sense. So why does the richest and this man disconnects made a tradition, but the greatest and the richest must difference in the so why does it? Does it grow this or does it hurt?
No.
Thank you very much.